Okay, so the next thing is we're going to import in effectively the world for the game. And as you can see here, we're looking at Photoshop, and this is a star background that I created inside Photoshop. I'm going to also make a little video to show you how to create this. But it's interesting to first of all understand the size of the world. So this image, if we go to image size, you can see the width is 360 pixels and the height is 640. This is going to be a nice little mini game that you'll be able to load up on your desktop and play the shooting game. So it doesn't need to be a large image. This is also a JPEG image which we're going to import into the Unreal Game Engine. Okay, so first thing is we're going to import that picture in. So make things organized, we go to the graphics folder, click on the add import button, select import graphic, find the file that we need, which is on my desktop. It's called Paste Background. Open that up, and as you can see, the image is loaded in. You can have a look at it inside the Unreal Game Engine. If you double click on it, there's a image viewer. You can see your image, and it tells you how big the image is. But you've created your image now, so you right click on the image, go to Sprite Actions. First of all, apply Paper 2D texture setting. Now that will then make sure that it's always illuminated, it's not affected by lighting, and then right click on it and then create sprite. And you can keep it the same name, so we'll save all of that. Okay. So we need to determine now what view that we're going to play this in. So if we go to the perspective at the top in the viewport window and go to the right view, you can see we've got two lines. We've got a red line and a blue line. So that is, if we drag it in, see the lines correspond with the axis point. So the X axis is here and the Z axis is running at the top. We also need to make sure this image is in the center of our world, so just make sure X, Y and Z are zeroed in the transforms. Okay, now we notice that we can't see anything. That's because by default it's always in wireframe, so just change that to lit. As you can see, we can see our star field in there. So we'll just save everything. And if we click the play button, obviously we can't see anything yet because it's all dark, and there's no camera in there as well. So the next thing that we're going to do now is we're going to add a camera, because without the camera we wouldn't be able to see anything in the game world. So in the Place Actors menu bar, if you put in camera, you can see the camera. And we drag the camera into the scene, and you notice that the camera is facing the wrong direction. It should be pointing towards this object. We just need to rotate it along its x-axis. So in the x-axis, just put in 90. And if we move the camera, okay, you can see that it's probably behind the picture. If we go back to the perspective view, you get a better idea of what we're looking at. You can see that as I move it around. If you find it difficult to see, you can see unlit. Okay, and we can move the camera out, and as you can see the picture now in the camera. Just make sure the location of the camera, you can leave that, just zero out the X and the Z. Okay, but if you can see, we'd have to push the camera right out, and the problem here is the camera is viewing the scene in perspective, and that's what we don't want. We want the camera to effectively have no perspective, and also the camera's viewing frustum, which is the view of the world, needs to match up with the size of the background. Well, the first thing that we need to do is we need to be able to see the viewing frustum. So with the camera selected, go to show. Let's look what we've got here. Visualize, advanced. Okay, we're looking for viewing frustum. Let's have a look. I always forget where this is. Let's have a look. Visualize, volume, not there, advanced. There we go. It's in advanced. Go down to viewing frustum. Let's have a look what that looks like. As you can see, the camera viewing frustum is different than the size of the picture. So we need to fix that. So select your camera, and in the details panel on the right hand side, where it says perspective, change that to orthographic. Okay. And we need to change two settings. First of all, the orthographic width, which is effectively the width of the picture, which is 360. And that's fine for the width, but the problem is the aspect ratio, which is the ratio of the width and the height, needs to be fixed. So that's dead easy to do. So let's just bring a calculator up on the screen. If you think about it, it's 360, which is the width, divided by the height, which is 640, which is the size of the picture. And as you can see there, that's it. We can actually paste it from there. So copy that, and we can paste it directly into there. As you can see now, the viewing frustum of the camera exactly matches the picture, and you can see what's happening inside the camera view. So the next stage is to tweak that inside the play mode, and I'll do that next.